And we need your help. We're going to count these drivers off and send them off in style. The most famous words in motorsports. At the count of 5, 4, 3. Drivers, start your engines. Once again, a big thanks to the conglomerate that makes up Trucking Fort Wayne. They include Northern Indiana Trucking, as well as LCK Trucking, KT Trucking, as well as Rockley Trucking and Bunn Trucking, all part of the 5 trucking company conglomerate that makes up Trucking Fort Wayne. Race fans, on behalf of the ARCA CRA Super Series powered by JEGS, we thank you for welcoming us back to Baer Speedway for the first time since 2011. What we want you to do is we want you to get up. We want you to stand up. Come on, get up, get up, get up, get up. It's wave lap time for the Premier Tour within the Champion Racing Association powered by JEGS. This is the Summit City 100 presented by Trucking Fort Wayne. This is the ARCA CRA Super Series powered by JEGS. Conklin cars, pace cars, set to roll off the next time by.
100 laps.
Chief starter Leo Schwer gives them the 1 lap to go. Signal we're going green. The next time by. Pace car pulls onto the 3/8 mile, leaving the field into the hands of the number 12, the Mr. Asphalt Toyota from Bertrand, Michigan, Dan Leake. Alongside him, the International Tool and Mold Chevrolet, 16-year-old Grant Quinlan to lead this field. Leake and Quinlan into 3 and 4. Chief starter Leo Schwer's got the green flag in hand, and we are racing. Quinlan with the lead off the bat. He comes off of turn number 2. Good momentum off the high side. He'll take over the top spot. Here comes Terry Fisher Jr., the 81 machine. He'll go to the high side. Your pole center, Dan Leake. Lap 1, all field sideways in the back, but everyone keeps moving forward. Leader of lap 1 was Grant Quinlan. Field now scrambling for position. Battle for the 3rd spot. The 7 of Jason Deach alongside. Gist makes the pass on the 12 of Dan Leake. Your pole setter falling all the way back to 4th and possibly 5th. Here comes Scott Hans with the number 72. And co-welding fast qualifier Allie Kern fell back to 7th. Now she's back to 6th. The number 4 machine. Mark Lambert trying the high side to try to get back by the number 4 Kern as Grant Quinlan continues to show the way. Grant Quinlan, the International Tool and Mold Chevrolet from Harrison, Michigan, out in front. The 16-year-old driver, overall and Rookie of the Year point leader, showing the way. Terry Fisher Jr. riding 2nd. Jason Deach is 3rd, the number 7. Scott Hans is 4th. Dan Leake rounding on the top 5, the number 12. Back to the rest of the field. Mark Lambert is 6th in the 18. The 4, Allie Kern, back to 7th now. The 131 of Nick Galata is 8th. The 23, Eddie Van Meter is 9th. The 8, Jordan Pruitt rounding on the top 10. Terry Fisher Jr. now catching up to your race leader, Grant Quinlan. Fisher Jr. now on the back bumper of Quinlan for the top spot. Fisher just got done winning the AR Bodies Late Model Sportsman feature about an hour or so ago. Now he's challenging Grant Quinlan for that top spot. Jason Deach in the 3rd spot, the number 7. Scott Hans is 4th in the 72. Dan Leake, Your pole setter has finally settled down into the fifth spot, the number 12. Behind lead, the battle for 6 continues as Mark Lambert trying to get away from Edco Welding fast qualifier Allie Kern. As Quinlan up front continues to show the way with Terry Fisher Jr. right on his back bumper in the 81. This time by 10 laps completed, 90 laps to go. Grant Quinlan continues to lead the 28 car. Terry Fisher Jr. riding second, Jason Deach is third. Scott Hans, Dan Leake, your top 5. Quinlan showing the way. Terry Fisher Jr. not making a move as of yet, just following the tire tracks of a 16-year-old driver from Harrison, Michigan. Jason Deach lurking back there as well in third spot, the number 7 car. Scott Hans, the 3-time ARCA CRA Super Series champion in the 4th spot, takes a peek to the high side of Deach, takes better of it. Dan Leake has finally settled into the 5th spot, the number 12 cars. He follows the top 4 cars around this half mile. Back behind Leake, the battle for 6 continues. The 18 of Mark Lambert, the 4 of Allie Kern. Grant Quinlan continues to lead the 28, now trying to put some real estate between himself and the 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. Fisher making his first start of the 2015 season in the ARCA CRA Super Series. As Jason Deach trying to get away from Scott Hans in that 3rd spot, the number 7. A couple car lengths separating Deach from the 72 of Hans, with Dan Leake also back there as well, the number 12. Scott Hans taking a peek to the high side of Jason Deach. They go down the backstretch. Hans drives it deep into turns 3 and 4, trying to make it stick. He'll complete the pass out of 4. Give 3rd spot to Scott Hans. Hans now in 3rd. He'll try to chase down your 2nd place car, the 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. But up front, Grant Quinlan continues to lead the 28. Battle for 6 continues between the 18 of Mark Lambert, the 4 of Allie Kern. Now the 23 of Eddie Van Meter closing the gap, and so is the 8 of Jordan Pruitt. That is 6th through 9th, with the 13 of Hunter Bays rounding out the top 10. Dan Leake makes the pass for the 4th spot. He gets around Jason Deach. Give 4th now to your pole setter, Dan Leake, who fell all the way back to 5th at the initial start. Has now worked his way back to the 4th spot. He'll try to chase down Scott Hans, who's in 3rd. This time by 1/5 of the way through the Summit City 100, presented by Trucking Fort Wayne. 20 laps completed, 80 laps to go. The 28 of Grant Quinlan, your leader. The 81, Terry Fisher Jr. riding 2nd. The 72 of Scott Hans is 3rd. The 12 of Dan Leake is 4th. The 7 Jason Deach is 5th. The 4 Allie Kern is 6th. 18 Mark Lambert, 7 just got passed by Kern. At the 23 of Eddie Van Meter is 8th, trying to get by Lambert as well. The 8 of Jordan Pruitt is 9th. The 13 of Hunter Bays rounding out the top 10. Eddie Van Meter completes the pass on the 18 of Mark Lambert. Give Van Meter the 7th spot, that Edco Welding Chevrolet. Now he'll try to chase down the 4 of Allie Kern, who is already caught in the back bumper, the 7 of Jason Deach. For the first time in this event, Grant Quinlan closing in on the back of the lead pack cars, beginning with a 62, a Caston average. Fisher Jr., 1.3 seconds behind your race leader, the 28 of Grant Quinlan, who is closing the gap on the 62 of Caston Everidge. Fisher is second. Scott Hance right behind in third. The 72, Dan Leake by himself in fourth. The battle is for fifth. The 4 of Allie Kern. The 7 of Jason Deach. They come out of turn number 2. Deach with the momentum on the high side, but Kern sticking the car on the inside, trying to complete the pass. Coming on a turn number 4, they bump, they rub a little bit, and Kern gets by. The 28 of Jack Smith calls it a night. Tough break for the now New Haven, Indiana resident. 62 of Caston Everidge, first car to go 1 lap down. Grant Quinlan continues to lead the number 28 car. Continuing to put space between himself and your second place driver, the 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. Scott Hance is right there in third, the 72. The 12 of Dan Leake is fourth. The 4 of Allie Kern, your Edco Welding fast qualifier, back to where she originally started in fifth. This time by 30 laps completed. 30 laps in the books, 70 laps to go. In the Summit City 100, presented by Trucking Fort Wayne. Quinlan continues to lead the overall and Seneca Performance Rookie of the Year points leader, still in search of his first career win in the ARCA CRA Super Series. Second and third, a couple of CRA veterans in the 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. Trouble in turn number 4 as Rick Turner turns it around, brings out the first caution flag of the evening. First caution flag of the night belongs to the McGonigal Engine Performance number 26. Yorktown, Indiana's Rick Turner goes around, brings out the first caution flag. Field doubles up. Grant Quinlan takes the inside lane, which forces your second place driver, the 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. to the high side. Chief starter Wheel Schwayer looks the field over. The green flag is out, and we are back underway. Terry Fisher Jr. on the high side of Grant Quinlan for the lead. As the caution comes out one more time, Caston Everidge stopped over in turn number 2, brings out the caution flag once again. The Everidge Motor Sales Chevrolet, 19-year-old Caston Everidge, off of turn number 2, backs it onto pit road. In that machine, double file restarts in the ARCA CRA Super Series. The leader in this case, the 28 of Grant Quinlan, has the option of choosing the inside or the outside lane. He chose the inside, which forces your second place driver, the 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. the high side. Very fast start on a 3 and 4. Green flags out. We're back underway. Very fast start by the 16-year-old rookie, Grant Quinlan, the number 28. Terry Fisher Jr. now trying to hold off the 72 of Scott Hance. As Hance to the inside, coming out of turn number 2. Turn 4, excuse me. Hance to the inside of Fisher. They're side by side. They go down the backstretch. Hance now with the advantage, going into 3 and 4. He'll clear Fisher. Give second spot to your 3-time ARCA CRA Super Series champion, Scott Hance. Hance now will set his sights on the 16-year-old rookie, Grant Quinlan, in the number 28 car. Quinlan in search of his first ever ARCA CRA Super Series win. Scott Hance has already been to victory lane 31 times in his CRA career. Terry Fisher Jr. shuffled back to third, the 81. The 12 of Dan Leake is fourth. A bump back bumper full. That corroding fast qualifier, Allie Kern. Jason Beach, the number 7, has been shuffled back to 6. The 23 of Eddie Van Meter is 7th. The 8 of Jordan Pruitt is 8th. The 4, Tyler Dimple now up to the 9th spot. For the 13 of Hunter Bays, rounding out the top 10. Rick Turner a little sideways going down the front stretch, but he seems to have gathered it back up in the number 26 car. Battle now for the 4th position. Allie Kern coming out of turn number 4. Show it to the inside of your pole sitter, Dan Leake. Kern to the inside of your pole sitter, goes down the back stretch, and Kern will clearly give 4th spot to Allie Kern to the number 4 car. Kern a little sideways going down the front stretch as Hunter Bays comes off on the pit road. Tough break for your second place driver in the overall and rookie points. Hunter Bays in the 13. Grant Quinlan continues to lead, the number 28. Scott Hance riding second, the 72. The 81, Terry Fisher Jr. is third. The 4, Allie Kern is fourth. The 12, Dan Leake is fifth. Eddie Van Meter, the 23 car, is now up to 6. He's starting to 12th. 40 laps completed, 60 laps to go. Grant Quinlan has led the whole way so far. The International Tool and Mold Chevrolet, the 16-year-old overall and rookie points leader, with a comfortable 1.3 second advantage over 3-time series champion Scott Hance. Quinlan continues to lead in the 28 car. Scott Hance losing ground on the 16-year-old Great Lakes State freshman. Terry Fisher Jr. right there in third. The 81 machine, Allie Kern, has gotten away from Dan Leake and is slowly catching up to the 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. Quinlan continues to lead the 28 car. Allie Kern has caught the back bumper of the 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. Potential battle brewing for the 3rd spot as Kern to the inside of Fisher. Fisher, though, the momentum on the high side. Dan Leake trying to get away from the 23 of Eddie Van Meter. Leake trying to hold on to that 5th spot. The battle continues though for 3rd. Allie Kern searching for a way around hometown favorite Terry Fisher Jr. Closing in on halfway as Kern to the inside again, but Fisher strong off the high side. All the while, Grant Quinlan continues to lead the number 28 car. As we get closer to halfway, the 7 City 100 presented by Trucking Fort Wayne. Kern now on the inside. Fisher trying to keep the outside groove working. for that trucking Fort Wayne Chevrolet. But this time by, we are halfway home. 50 laps completed, 50 laps to go. Your leader is the 28 of Grant Quinlan. Second spot to the 72 of Scott Hans. Third at the line was the 4 of Allie Kern as she tries to complete the pass of the 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. Fifth spot to the 12 of Dan Lee. Turn to the inside, she'll clear Terry Fisher Jr. going to turn number 1. Your Edco Welding Fast Qualifier Allie Kern now will set her sights on 3-time series champion Scott Hans. Grant Quinlan continues to pace the field at number 28. He has led all now 53 laps of this 100-lap main event up to this point. Scott Hans riding in second spot, the number 72. The 4 of Allie Kern, your Edco Welding Fast Qualifier, has gotten away from Terry Fisher Jr. and is slowly closing the gap on the 72 of Scott Hans. '81 Terry Fisher Jr. shuffled back to the 4th spot. The 12 of Dan Leake in 5th. The 23 of Eddie Van Meter is 6th. The 8 Jordan Pruitt now 7th. The 4 Tyler Dipple is 8th. The 7 Jason D shuffled all the way back to the 9th spot. And the 26 of Rick Turner, despite being part of the first caution flag, is now in the top 10 for the first time this evening. Quinlan about to approach the back of the lead pack cars, beginning with the 131 of Nick Galata. Nick Galata, the last car in the lead lap, in 14th spot. A few car lengths behind him is your race leader, the 28 of Grant Quinlan. Scott Hans seeing perhaps an opportunity to close the gap on the 28 of Quinlan with the back of the lead pack cars in front of your race leader, Grant Quinlan. Galata gives way to your race leader. Nick Galata now, the first car, 1 lap down, and separates Quinlan and Hans as they come on to turn number 4 one more time. Back in the field, heading towards turn number 1. Battle for the 4th spot. The 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. trying to hold off the 12 of Dan Leake. The 23 of Eddie Van Meter is right there as well. 62 of Caston Everidge goes down a lap to your race leader. Three-fifths of the way through the Summit City 100 presented by Trucking Fort Wayne. 60 laps completed, 40 laps to go. Grant Quinlan continues to lead. Scott Hans slowly but surely reeling in your race leader. As traffic now starts playing a role in the outcome of this event. Wes Griffith Jr. in the 33 car. 12th on the racetrack. The last car on the lead lap with Quinlan right on his back bumper. Quinlan carefully negotiates around Griffith. Puts Griffith a lap down. They come down the front stretch. Battle for 4th as Dan Leake to the inside. He'll complete the pass for 4th. The pole setter, Dan Leake. Now to 4th, shuffling Terry Fisher Jr. to 5th, and he may not be there for long. Here comes Eddie Van Meter, the 23 car. 4th, 5th, and 6th right together. The 12 of Dan Leake, the 81, Terry Fisher Jr., the 23 of Eddie Van Meter. Van Meter now to the inside of Fisher. That is for the 5th spot. Fisher was up to 2nd at one point, but now it's starting to fade. That trucking Fort Wayne Chevrolet. Give fist spot to Eddie Van Meter in the 23 car. All the while, 66 laps completed, 34 to go, and Grant Quinlan, the 16-year-old, overall and Rookie of the Year points leader, has led all 66 laps so far. With second place overall and Seneca Performance Rookie of the Year standings, Hunter Mays sitting on pit road. A golden opportunity for Grant Quinlan, the 28, to put a whole bunch of points between himself and Bays in that chase for both the overall and Seneca Performance Rookie of the Year title. Scott Hance is second, but here comes Allie Kern in the number 4 car. Kern slowly but surely reeling in your second place car of Scott Hance to the number 72. Kern continues to catch the 72 of Hance, who is trying to keep pace with a hard-charging Grant Quinlan, the number 28 car. Just in front of your race leader is the 11th place car, Mark Lambert, who was as high as 5th at one point, but has faded to the 11th spot. And it has about a half a straightaway on your race leader, Grant Quinlan, who's quickly closing the gap on that Global Paint Initiative Chevrolet. This time by 72 laps completed. 28 laps to go for the number 28 of Grant Quinlan. Scott Hance is trying to keep a safe piece of real estate between himself and the 4 of Allie Kern, as Kern knows time slowly winding out. The Summit City 100 presented by Trucking Fort Wayne. Quinlan now right on the back bumper of your 11th place car, the 18 of Mark Lambert. Quinlan had to check up just a bit. That's going to allow Scott Hance and Allie Kern to close the gap. Quinlan carefully negotiating around the 18 of Lambert. That allows Hance to close in. Quinlan finally gets by the 18 of Mark Lambert. Now Scott Hance a much easier time getting by the lap car of Lambert. 76 laps in, 24 to go this time. Hance now starting to mash the pedal on the number 72. Allie Kern right there as well, the number 4. As she lost a little bit of ground, a little bit harder time getting by the 18 of Lambert. Two very distinctive lines on the turn number 4 by your top 2 drivers. Grant Quinlan very low on a turn number 4. Scott Hance about at least up in the second, possibly 2.5 groove coming on a turn number 4. Watch the race leaders. They go into turn number 3, come on a turn number 4. Quinlan a very low line. Hance way up on the racetrack. Allie Kern right there as well on the number 4 car, as she has closed the gap once again on Scott Hance. 80 laps in, this time by 80 complete, 20 to go for Grant Quinlan. Hance trying to make that outside lane work, and that has allowed the number 4 of Allie Kern to close the gap. Hance with so much power going down the backstretch. stretch. Kern eats him alive in the corners. About 3/4 of a straightaway ahead of your race leaders is the battle for the 9th spot. The 7 of Jason Deach, the 26 of Rick Turner. And is just in front of your race leaders. Quinlan, though, still somewhat comfortably ahead. The 72 of Scott Hance. Hance trying to find a lane that will allow him to close the gap on the 28 of Quinlan with the laps winding down. 17 to go. Hance is there, the number 72, all kinds of momentum on the high side. Allie Kern is also there in the number 4 car. Back in the field, the 23 of Eddie Van Meter is now 4, shoveling Danley back to 5th. Jordan Pruitt is 6, the number 8 car. Terry Fisher Jr. back to 7th, Tyler Dipple is 8th. 26 of Rick Turner 9th, the 7 Jason Deach rounding at the top 10. Those are the cars left in the lead lap. $14 to go. Quinlan a little sideways, coming on turn number 4. The 16-year-old driver so close to his first ever win in the ARCA CRA Super Series. But Hance is there at number 72. Quinlan's been having trouble with the putting cars a lap down, and he'll face the 7 of Jason Deach. Quinlan trying the inside of Deach. Nine cars left in the lead lap. The 9th place driver is a 26, so Rick Turner. Hance now trying to get by the 7 of Deach as Quinlan trying to get away. Hance gets by, resets his sights on the 28 of Quinlan. 11 to go. This time by 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go for Grant Quinlan and the number 28. Quinlan with about a second lead over the second place driver. The 72 is Scott Hance with the 9th place car, Rick Turner, the last car in the lead lap, just in front of your leaders. 9 to go this time. Rick Turner now down a lap, the 4D of Tyler Dipple, the last car in the lead lap in the 8th spot. Quinlan with 8 laps to go, trying to keep Scott Hance safely behind him, to try to not let the 3-time champion even challenge him as the laps continue to wind down. Quinlan getting away from the 72 of Scott Hance. 6 laps to go for the 16-year-old. Tyler Dipple in the 4 is the last car in the lead lap in 8th. The 33 of Wes Griffith Jr. already 1 lap down. He is running in 14th on the grid. Quinlan with 2 cars in front of him side by side. Quinlan carefully, ever so carefully, threads the needle between the lap cars of Dipple and the 33 of Griffith. 4 to go. Hans now having a much easier time getting by the lap traffic, trying to mount some sort of challenge at the 28 of Grant Quinlan. 3 laps to go. Hans, again, much easier getting through the traffic as compared to the 28 of Quinlan. This time by 98 in, 2 to go for Grant Quinlan. Scott Hans just wants to try to get to the back bumper of Quinlan, but he's running out of time. This time by, the white flag comes out. 1 lap to go for Grant Quinlan. One last time on the backstretch, and Scott Hans sideways on a turn number 2. Into turn number 3, on a turn number 4. Checkered flag in hand. First ever victory for 16-year-old Grant Quinlan. Scott Hansen second, Ellie Kern third. Eddie Van Meter comes home in 4th. Dan League rounds out the top 5. Race fans, a big round of applause for the ARCA CRA Super Series powered by JEGS. 2 quick cautions and a brand new winner emerges in victory lane in the ARCA CRA Super Series. Race fans, don't forget there is the Emma Warehouse Modified feature coming up after this event, after post-race ceremonies. But your winner, this young man, is the overall and Rookie of the Year points leader in the ARCA CRA Super Series. He wins his first ever feature event in the ARCA CRA Super Series. And oh, by the way, he's 16 years old from Harrison, Michigan. He climbs out of the car, big head for Grant Quinlan. He's got the helmet off. Let me know you appreciate your race winner, first ever win for ARCA CRA Super Series. Grant, outstanding job. Congratulations. Led all 100 laps, and I know for you this has been a long time coming for you, young man. 16 years old, overall rookie points leader, finally got that first win.
Oh, yeah, it's been a lot of hard work coming and achieving what we have here today. A lot of work goes on behind the scenes that you guys don't see. It's unbelievable.
You seem a little choked up, man. I know this is a lot of hard work. Did you know you had 3-time champion Scott Hans trying to get to you?
Yeah, I could see him in my mirror. He was getting there. I mean, he had the pressure on us, and I was definitely nervous.
This is a very pivotal win for you. Unfortunately, with Hunter Bays dropping out of the event, you bring home the win, your first one. A very, very nice points lead in both the overall and Rookie of the Year championship. We still got 4 races to go, but you finally got that elusive victory.
Yeah, that win's big. Just getting the door open for us, getting a win in there, it feels good.
Grant, tell us about all the sponsors, everyone that makes it happen for you.
Everybody back at RJR, Chad Finley, Brent Downey, everybody back at Downey Racing. Can't thank them enough.
Race fans, he is 16 years old from Harrison, Michigan. Big round of applause for Grant Quinlan. Second place to the 72 of Scott Hans. God, congratulations. Another solid top 5 run. It's good to have you back, by the way, with the ARCA CRA Super Series, even if it's only for a few races. But, man, this car here, I know you wanted to get to him, but, man, you just couldn't quite get there. But, nevertheless, a great run.
No, he did a great job. You know, I did everything I could. Was hoping for caution. Never came. The lap cars were getting in his way, and I still couldn't catch him.
And that was a big thing, too. That's lot to do with the experience and all that. He was a little bit hesitant getting through the lap traffic. You didn't seem to have a problem at all.
Well, they got out of the way because it was me.
Scott, great job. Congratulations. Scott Hand, second place in the number 72. And how about this young lady right here finishing third spot? Allie Kern on the podium in third. Allie, a nice job. Congratulations. I know this has been a hectic 10 days for you. Winning at Kalamazoo Speedway back in August the 12th. Flat Rock was a little tough, but you rebounded strong with your first Edco Welding Fast Qualifier Award, and you're on the podium here tonight.
Yeah, I just got to thank my crew, all the fans, my sponsors, just everybody that allows us to be here and race week in and week out. And congratulations to Grant Quinlan. He really deserved this one, and we're just happy we brought the car home in one piece.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. And you're trying to get to Scott Hans there towards the end of the race.
Yeah, we were just a little too free up off the corner, and we just couldn't get that run up. But we had a really fast car and nothing to hang our heads about.
Race fans, Allie Kern comes home in third place tonight.